What were the conditions on board the slave ships like?
Oh, they were foul. They were cramping in as many as they could, sometimes 300 or 400 in a small lower deck. It was really, it's worse than a concentration camp. I mean, people were being sick, they were dying, there was excreta everywhere. It was hell on earth, or on the sea.
Yeah.
We call it the Middle Passage.
How has Bristol sort of benefited from that? Is it still obvious today?
Well, Bristol benefited from the trade. I mean, the Middle Passage was the worst part of that trade. It was brutal inhumanity. But Bristol actually scored on the trade side in that it made literally thousands, tens of thousands of pounds in buying and selling slaves. And it was to become the economic groundwork for Bristol in all the other trades it went into. It was to provide the capital sums, or some of the money was to provide the capital sums for the building of Temple Meads Great Western Railway, Suspension Bridge. So Bristol made enormous sums from the slave trade, there's no doubt about that. And it owes its present wealth through its engagement and complicity with slavery, yeah.
Mm. Yes, what would you say is the present feeling towards the slave trade and how Britain is dealing with it within the black community?
It's a mixed feeling. People say, well, it's gone, it's part of history now, and we don't want to keep referring back, we've got to go on. But I don't think people, I mean, I don't know enough about the slave trade, I'm learning every day. But the most crucial dates for Bristol and the slave trade in this country was 1698 to 1807. It's in those crucial dates that the slave trade was to become something that the world's never ever seen. It was a unique transatlantic slave trade, quite unique, shipping millions and millions of people by sea to the new lands of the Americas and the Caribbean. And in those dates, it was at the collapse of the Royal African Company that licenses were given, and Bristol took it up, Liverpool, Glasgow, many of the cities of England took up licenses, but Bristol and Liverpool were the mainstays, and Bristol, mainly through merchant ventures, were able to make enormous wealth.